Hey boys and girls of the Doomosphere, meat sauces of all variations. My name's Reagan, welcome back to my channel. It's about that time again that I respond to comments because I feel that's a good, friendly doomer YouTube thing to do. I'm not certain I got that many comments over the past month, but it's worth noting that I appreciate all of you, and again, your humor and support to this project of documenting the degradation of basically everything we've ever known is important, and I felt like it was my calling. So, not trying to brag or anything, just want to give a shout out to all of you, which is why I'm doing this video. Again, it's Saturday, November 19th, almost December, almost 2023, and I could be grateful for so much. Many of you who watch this channel on your little screens are so privileged and don't not acknowledge that. You know, the humility that exists on this channel is not run past me. So, with all the flowery words aside, let's get to it. On my most recent video, The Decline of Civilization, The Garden of Fragile Egos says, sub to your channel after looking for some collapse awareness folks who aren't boomers, unsubbing from glowingly aggressive pool of people I once thought were smart as they cope with these changes by going into full denial mode. I understand why, but I can't share their numbness and demand for unreality. Yeah, that cognitive dissonance is present in virtually all aspects of our society. I don't know what else to say. It's a disease. It's something I just can't relate with. You know, I want to know how my future looks and how to plan accordingly. Thanks for the compliments, Olivia. Nas says billions of people don't mind about near-term human extinction or don't care. Aerosol Masking says we'll never know what hit them. Call me insane, but I'm in the same bandwagon as some other doomer channels in the case that I want to inform and educate people about the circumstances of facing their lives. Because as far as I'm aware, the purpose of life is to live, and the point of it is to live. The meaning is whatever you make of it. It could be, a whole multitude of reasons that you can make up in your own head. But if the point in life is to live, then you want to live, and you want to ensure longevity of your life. You want to see the most you can and experience the most you can. And knowing that time is cut short is, should open up your mind a little bit, I think. Lone Wonder posting for history. I made a post with the news, AP News, that North Korea launched a hypersonic missile that traveled 22 times the speed of sound, according to Japanese monitoring systems. And he says, get to look back on fond memories as Heat Dome Helix shatters the Texas power grid and millions die.
Breaking extremes, very persistent extremes.
We have a really extreme jet stream heat to the tune of temperatures in the 80s being shunted all the way north into Canada.
I know, I can absolutely foresee this happening well before 2050. The load placed on our electrical infrastructure is going to be so taxed and overcapacity that, millions of people who are elderly, even healthy people, there won't be enough cooling shelters or churches, amphitheater churches to fill with all these people. Sick, hungry, overexhausted people. Bistrovunga says, here's some cred for editing skills. Your rant the other day made me revisit my thoughts on how our potential is wasted. We we be if society asked of us? Society needs you. These are our goals and ideals. They're logical and intuitive. You are needed. Maybe you'd be the Witcher and his bard merged into one into that parallel universe. That's funny. I mean, I tell it to my roommate all the time. Why couldn't we just, in 2020, when the message got out that we had Code Red for humanity, that we turned to each other and said, hey, I think something's a little off here. Maybe we could start working in the right direction. This is generational change that takes decades, and we're not even wired to see long-term threats. So if the people around you can't see of what a threat it is to their basic survival, then they surely aren't going to turn to each other. Levi says, I think the wealthy will start throwing money at projects like Mirrors, Project, etc. Collapse is inevitably undoubtful. 6 papers, blah, blah, blah. You keep saying Tim Garrett, Civilization's heat engine. I know, yes, also Mirrors, Project, and the government is already so stressed and alarmed that they are conducting research into geophysical, into launching aerosols, more aerosols up in the sky. I mean, this is for real. Congrats to Richard getting a new job, more money. There's a PayPal donation link below if you want to spread some of that out of good wealth. Also, I do plan on making my bug out video, unlike most of you are going to watch. No, I say that's about 50-50. On any number of my polls or inquiries to my subscribers, I appreciate all of you. Your humor keeps me going, and this project fun and entertaining. I was gonna do a bug out bag video, for those of you that plan on trying to survive a couple weeks after our grid, food supply systems, fresh water supply, millions of mass migrants start traversing the United States and have nowhere to stay. I'm gonna try to fight and survive. The Ragu Overlord says, I look like the kind of guy who watches every MCU film and streaming series. That's cute. I guess I take that as a compliment. I have not seen every MCU film, and I've never watched a streaming series. Nate is awesome. Maybe your next poll on how many seconds we think we are till midnight. 60? It's at 100 now, but my friend in Fayetteville thinks we're at 90. Peter Thompson, my man. And all the while it remains this bizarre, surreal thing where we can sit still, mind-numbingly depressed, and watch videos and stuff on the tube, on the telly. Every single day we wake up and this whole system hasn't fallen apart to me. It's a mystery, and I try to give thanks, but it's 50-50. The time for the human project to get where it's going soon, I'm pretty over it. I've been pretty over it for over a year as well now. Have you seen the new 15-minute city concept in Europe? No, I haven't. Don't really care. Love L.O. You've been with my channel for probably feels like over a year, maybe less. I wouldn't put an exact date on it because we can't sure it'll be happen. There are signs are definitely there though. The apocalypse was supposed to happen many times, but it didn't. In 1972, the UN said there would be an environmental catastrophe in 1982, which didn't happen. Where's the paperwork and literature you have on this? In 1982, the UN said there would be an event as irreversible as a nuclear holocaust in 2000, which also didn't happen. Where's the paperwork? Can you put some sources? He goes on. And I said, Code Red for humanity is about as clear as it gets. You have multiple government officials, all meteorological associations around the planet, indicating that we are on a irreversible and fast track towards disaster and loss of everything we've ever known, including David Attenborough, which has extensively more experience dealing with the natural world than you. And then someone else went ahead and did the research and couldn't find anything. Moving on. Of all people, Jarko, where are you again? I think you're somewhere in Europe. There's so many countries in Europe. It's hard. I get them all mixed up. You said I already celebrated my 40th birthday some time ago. We had a joint party with my friend, bands, and lots of drinks and food. That sounds like a good-ass time. I wish I could have been there. It was such a great big party. The guests were such a colorful bunch of people. So are my friends. When I have parties, or when I used to throw them a lot more, the variety and just people that came was phenomenal. I mean, other near close friends would come and be like, wow, who are all these people? How do you know these people? I don't know, man. We live in a colorful, wild world. Yep, who cares? Just wants to well, maybe we can still do something. No, dude, the train has long gone. Okay, there's enough carbon dioxide stored in the atmosphere. Unless you can draw that down, among other things like decrease the population and overconsumption of resources, then maybe we might have a legitimate conversation. Joseph says, I'm just jumping off a bridge. I can't legally own 2/3 of that anyway. Regarding my bug out bag post, at least I'll feed some fish if there's any alive. Beats being in prison for the apocalypse. Well, the prison is going to go through is either it's going to have a bust or everyone, is going to kill each other there. I made a video kind of harping on this 32-year-old. There's a lot of these videos on YouTube where men are like, I'm lonely, I have no friends. And I'm like, dude, even your daily interactions, like seemingly menial interactions, still constitute as meaningful interactions. Like even if you share a few words here and there, I know how it can feel with family members and even close friends, or for a long time, like you don't talk that often. But I'm just saying, in your day-to-day interactions, you can meet people. Africa is a disaster weighed in. It's not lost on me when I wake up in the first world developed country. I think of people in India working on, less than $20 a day, trying to feed their family, sleeping on the concrete, driving taxi cabs, all over the world, in the Philippines, Manila, even the people staying up till midnight or 2 o'clock at fast food chains all across America, just flipping burgers. It's disgusting and overwhelming. People must get ready for Black Friday shopping. Not enough time to think about extinction, Aerosol Masking says. Lone Wonder. I never thought the end of the world would be so boring. BAU. Being a doomer, though, has been entertaining. I mean, heat waves at both poles at the same time during a La Nina. Damn, El Nino is going to be special. I agree. It's not boring. I think it's, exciting each day waking up and wondering, has climate change pushed a country into such despair that it's launching hypersonic nukes at its neighbors? Hint, hint, Russia, North Korea. It's exciting. Bernard Marx on disappointment. When men will literally drive the human race and all life on Earth to extinction rather than go to therapy or give up their privilege. Yes. The self-cultivation of principles and good manners was not cultivated ever in our culture. Or if it was instilled at youth, it was quickly lost going into adult world. Les M recommends I meditate. I did. I have done 13 minutes every day this week except 2 days. Just another great video. You make some hilarious content, mate. You mix it up and then you throw a little bit of this in. Guys, all you recommend, go check out Go subscribe to his channel. I'm giving a shout out to him. Keep on keeping on. Peter Choice, if we can only hold on to the end of this decade, all my life, I did assume that'd be right around the corner. I would drop dead anyway, just of natural causes, plus a ton of bad life decisions. You and me both, brother. Yeah, everyone's fighting for scraps. Baseline's been moved. Jen Moracone, $38 for one bag of groceries, no alcohol, no luxury items, but granite and Vons, which is always expensive, but still, I would have paid half that not very long ago. Yeah, produce is undersized and overpriced due to drought, and not to mention the drought in China is going to have repercussions for all of us across the world. In fact, my favorite pair of shoes that I buy every so often, they no longer sell because it's made in China, where the plant is probably shut down due to overheating, lack of electrical hydropower, malnutrition. Just take your pick. The Gray Ghost. If the UN is saying this out loud to the public in response to we're on a highway to hell, they treat us like children and don't want us to panic. It's too late to panic, by the way. I agree. Lone Wonder. I wouldn't be too disappointed if it was already over. Yes. I know this. Sometimes I find myself going in circles. Lone Wonder, I like how we always make more time. Yeah, we just keep kicking the can. Yes, that is a real photo of America burning. If you haven't already, go to my community feed. Some of you just watch this on your TV or your phone But if you go to my community feed, there's a picture of some golfers playing in front of a wildfire in the background. Pretty epic. It looks fake. Look who showed up. It's been cold and snowy, so she's been very active inside, very playful. She is a demanding Manx cat. By the way, so far, one of the best cats I've ever had. Very affectionate. Amelia Apocalypse went to a Doomer Slam poetry this weekend at a local coffee shop. That would be hella fun. I would certainly open up some eyes there. Les says it takes people time to understand what's happening. So far, overshoot all this stuff. Our role is still valuable. I don't get that role. Sort of. I'm doing my best. MSB's commented on my channel several times. Oh, you'd be mad and embarrassed when you find out you're being used. Used for what? I don't understand this. I'm not knocking on Black Bear News or Kevin at all. I think he's a good-hearted, wholehearted man that produces solid content. But him and you, MSB, think there's funny business going on. Can you clarify that? What do you mean? Atmospheric engineering going on behind our eyes? Whether or not there is, the innumerable facts indicating our carbon emissions, carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere, not to mention methane and nitrous, are so overwhelmingly evident that any funny business would be immediately negated. It'd be a drop in the bucket. So it's this weird, I think there's an article or psychology around this. It's paranoia, not paranoia, but it's a tendency to lean towards fringe theories or things not supported by science, data and evidence that's out in the front and center, that's verified by every country in the world, for instance, or every meteorological association. That's a big fancy word of saying, I think you have this paranoia complex. I'm not certain. Una came home after 2 weeks because construction. Peter Thompson, someone has to bear witness. Most people choose not to look at the obvious collapse even on their own doorstep. Absolutely. Alone Wonder, Exponential, and no, we can't give up our toys or go warp speed instead of light speed. I don't think we're going to have Mad Max. We're going to be eviscerated. I agree, especially if the stratosphere gets stripped away. You'll fry in a couple minutes going outside. Because all the people who man the nuclear facilities aren't going to have food, energy, and electricity. That for the longest time I just was maybe in denial about, was the man keeps saying, nuclear facilities melt down. But how? Well, when they're not manned or they get destroyed by climatic weather events or nukes. Zoltan, big shout out to Zoltan. I like these social walking videos. They're thoughts that go through my head when I go to the city and see this many degenerates around me. Nate is awesome. Ever since I turned 20 this year, thanks for subscribing. Time has dramatically slowed down and the world has entered survival mode. Yeah, 2020 was the tipping point, perhaps. Nas, are you living in a nightmare? Are you living in the moment? Yeah, we're living in both. The moment is a nightmare. Yeah, not a lot of whole controversial comments here. Lots of support, humor, just general piggybacking off what I'm saying, which is cool. I know someone out there in the Doomosphere, a newcomer, has made merch with my image or the persona of my image. And to that I'll just say, deep sigh. Deep sigh. Olivia, your content is very much appreciated. Thank you. Hinton, they're incapable of being greedy for their own survival in regards to billionaires. Yes. Mohammed Umar Zaya, here in Pakistan is nearly the end of October and yet no signs of winter. It's still hot, absolutely dusty, man, extremely bad, and we have to deal with World War III. Why would anyone want to live in a dying world? It's crazy. Life isn't what it's cracked up to be in any way, but what is described here is hell. My videos start prepping for World War III. Yeah, I have another subscriber that wakes up in terror thinking about what kind of world we are entering by the end of this decade. Oh, you're religious. Love LO gave me a religious quote. Jet, on eco idiots are in Paris. Just take your glue money and spend it on a pack of cigarettes instead. The nukes are bound to get you before the cancer it is at this point, so smoke it up. Yeah, but I like having stamina and not coughing up black mucus out of my lungs. People always choose a Ferrari over life. Jarko, funny. Hinton, take it one day at a time. Fed just keeps raising interest rates. We are in some of the highest inflation in decades. We all know that. Jen Morricone spent some time in eastern Nevada mountains. Sierra Nevada mountains sounds gorgeous. South Korea and Japan are minding their own business. Well done video, very depressing. Still waiting on videos for you to brush your hair. Are you happy with my hand running through it? I met one of my subscribers in Cleveland for a Halloween party. That was fun. Good man. And we're not going to make it to 2027, says Jet. Just a lot of humorous, fun comments. You know, I didn't say anything too controversial. Most of the time, I try to err on the side of, dare I say, conservatism. The conservative end of Doomer, which is still absolutely awful and dreadful. But, you know, just so I'm not out of line and saying something too outlandish. So anyways, I think I'm going to stop there. But I do appreciate all of you. Hit like and subscribe. Leave a donation below. And I still will work on the merch someday. Bug out bag video coming soon. Keep practicing your aiming. Keep up your health. Happiness is fleeting and subjective. The point is to be content, at least be stable, and enjoy family and friends. Listen to good music. Have the experience, because this is the one that you get. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.